Hello, my vivacious, vigilant Virgos. Welcome, welcome. I am Sachi the Scorpio, and I am here to deliver your guided healing tarot for the month of February. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And I want to let you know, starting next month, whichever video gets the most likes, of course, it will come in first for the next video segment, but I will also be doing a bonus twin flame reading. So if this reading resonates, hit the like button and maybe you will get the bonus reading next month. So Virgo, let's just hop into it. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had Azrael, the angel of death, coming out. So this is telling me that some sort of ending has taken place. I will also let you know that my candle that represents the feminine energy went out during the cleansing ceremony and I had to get a new candle. So it does look like the feminine has kind of burnt out here. And there is some sort of ending, right? And of course, with every death, there is a rebirth. As a Scorpio, I have to make sure that I mention that. But it does really seem like a pretty big ending here. I did see the Angel of Time come out, so it felt like, you know, you kind of feel like, yeah, it's time, you know, for this to happen. We have the Two of Chalices in reverse, and this is telling me that, you know, it's a soulmate relationship that just did not work out. The emotional exchange between you two did not work the way that it should. There was an unequal exchange of give and take, especially in the emotional area. And then we had the Eight of Chalices coming out behind it. So it looked like this was a repeating pattern that went over and over and over again, where you're noticing that, you know, what is given, what is taken, you know, in the Two of Chalices. It could be someone that you are dating specifically. But the equal, you know, the exchange of emotions was unequal, and it was a repeating cycle where it became too much that it had to end. And then we had the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords come out with the Death card. So we have death twice, a lot of scorpionic energy, a lot of endings. But because we had two queens, there could have been some sort of third party in the situation, another feminine involved, two feminines. But I will say that, you know, the divine feminine energy in this relationship was, you know, solid. It was stable. When it came to the physical, it was solid. When it came to communication, it was a soul contract. You know, it was solid as well. It does look like you had some sort of soul contract with this person. And, you know, you did walk hand in hand and learn this lesson. But because it was so, you know, Two of Cups in reverse, or Two of Chalices in reverse, you know, going through emotional cycles over and over again where things don't feel equal, and, you know, possibly what the physical and the communicative world was, it has caused an ending to something. Again, there is some sort of rebirth around the corner, whether it's with this person or not, we will take a look. But yeah, there has been a pretty big ending. In this deck specifically, death does indicate moving, so there could be some sort of changing locations involved with this ending, but in general, it is just an ending. And then in the clarifier deck, we had fairy type coming out in reverse, okay? So this is telling me two things. One, you know, fairy type are soulmate relationships, not twin flame, but soulmate relationships of you do this, I do that, you know, and it seemed pretty solid of what was supposed to be done in the physical world and what was communicated and agreed upon. But for some reason, the emotionality of it really wasn't, you know, the give and take wasn't what it needed to be. So this is definitely some soulmate relationship that is coming to an end. You know, this is also the crown chakra in reverse. So the crown chakra is, you know, like your halo, how you get downloads from the external world and then how you internalize it to perceive it with your third eye, right? So this is telling me, excuse me, that things from the external world coming into you were downloads that were not divine. You were being fed some sort of false information is what I was getting. So Virgos, that's what came up in the cleansing ceremony and what is being cleansed for the month of February. What we are going to do is to take a peek into what emotion is pouring out of your jug, right? Because we're in Aquarius season, which is the water bearer, right? It collects the water, collects the emotions, and then pours it out. So we are going to see what emotion is pouring out of your jug. We are going to see then what is the problem with that? What is the blockage in the emotions that are going on? And then in the extended, we are going to take a look into how do we best analyze the situation, right? Aquarius is all about emotional analysis. And then we're going to see how do we apply that analysis in order to help the situation, okay? And then we will look at some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. So let's take a look. What is flowing out of Virgo's jug? It wants to hide. We have Gavura, the left-hand judgment in reverse. Yeah, so it looks like you're trying to avoid some sort of judgment call. Okay, the left hand is the feminine. So again, it looks like the feminine energy is kind of trying to, you know, get away from the situation, get away from whatever judgment call has been made, whether it's someone judging you or you don't want to judge them in the situation, right? Because judgment indicates that some sort of decision has been made, right? And it looks like the decision that has been made is the end of a situation, right? The death of, you know, a relationship or whatever sort of interaction that you were having here. It really has come to an end, but really trying to avoid the judgment that led to it is what I'm getting. Tell us more about this. Yeah, I'm definitely getting, yeah. Temperance in reverse. Yeah, things were not balanced here. They just weren't. And you definitely are feeling that. And it's definitely kind of overwhelming of trying not to judge or be judged in the situation about how imbalanced it was. Whether, you don't want to judge yourself for allowing this kind of imbalance in your life, or, you don't want to be judged for the part that you played in whatever imbalance was there, right? Because temperance, this is all about, tempering the hot and cold, and trying to find that lukewarm intermediate, so it's all about trying to find that balance, particularly in Sagittarian themes. So it could be, philosophical, academic, cultural differences, or whatever it may be. But temperance literally means abstinence from alcohol. So in reverse, it could be that you are, drinking a lot or altering your state of consciousness in order to kind of get rid of these judgmental thoughts or feelings or whatever it is. But yeah, whatever that ending caused, it's like you just don't want to think about or feel the judgment that was involved in that ending and the imbalance here. What's the light energy here? Yeah, this is a very emotional situation. Again, this is water energy, so it can indicate drinking or, substances. But this is really, a big thing for the emotional body. A huge, huge emotional stir is what I'm getting. It's like you don't want your emotions to be judged, and you're afraid of other people judging your emotions about this situation, of it being imbalanced. And mostly, again, the imbalance was emotional. We saw the Two of Cups with the Two of Chalices with the Eight of Chalices. This was some sort of, one-on-one relationship where the emotional give and take was not equal, and it's a lot to take in. It's just, I'm feeling very, very overwhelmed here. In the shadow, we have Quilava, mini eruption in reverse. So I was going to say this is also the throat chakra. So it could be that you don't want to make some sort of judgment call or anything like that. With the throat chakra, because there is so much imbalance. So you could be wanting to talk, but not wanting to talk about that is what I'm getting. With mini eruption in reverse, like, there could have been some sort of eruption and you want to get away from that judgment, or you are really trying to stop yourself from erupting or stop someone else from erupting on you here. This is the root chakra. So again, the root is everything you eat, drink, and as you can tell, they are indulging. I'm really getting substances here, but it can also be food, because as you can see, right, there's definitely a lot of food there. So it could be emotionally eating rather than drinking, but definitely some stuff happening in the root chakra. because like I said, it's what you eat, what you drink, you know, anything you put in your body, your sleeping patterns, as well as safety. So it feels like, you know, not feeling safe is really the root of the issue, because you feel judged about your emotions, and, you know, you're trying to avoid some sort of eruption and either emotionally eating or emotionally drinking or altering your state of consciousness. It says, be careful if it turns its back during battle. It means that it will attack with the fire on its back. Yeah, so someone definitely turned their back here. Okay, whether it was you turning your back because you're trying to avoid some sort of judgment, or someone turned their back on you. Again, it does have to do with this ending that took place. And that's kind of how you feel, is that someone's back has been turned, whether, you know, but they're still an attacking sort of thing. And that's the thing, is like, you're afraid of this judgment, even though there is like a back turned, it still feels like an attack. Okay. I can't tell which one you are, Virgo. I'm getting this feeling that there are a lot of cross watchers, okay? Because I do feel it going both ways. I keep getting pulled this way and then that way. And maybe that's how, you know, you are feeling, right? You keep going one way and then the other, very extremes in these judgment, rather than being able to temper your emotions. So let's see, what's the problem? What's the blockage here? Okay, quite a few. We have Netza, the right leg, endurance. So, you know, we have the right leg coming out, which is the masculine leg. And it looks like there has been a lot that has been endured, okay? This is like having the whole world on your shoulders. I will say that Pisces just had that in their reading. So, as your sister sign. I think they also had death as the... what came out in the cleansing ceremony. I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, so yeah, we have the right leg coming out, the masculine leg. So there has been a lot of masculine energy that has tried to, you know, hold the weight of the world on their shoulders and endure, you know, this imbalance here. We have Sandephalon, the angel of new life, and Chesed, the right hand, empathy. So again, we have the right leg and the right hand. So it does look like the masculine energy is trying to be empathetic, trying to go into their heart space in order to, you know, they're trying to comprehend. And also, you know, we have the angel of new life. So as I mentioned, with all that death energy, right, rebirth is around the corner. But it looks like the blockage is, you know, the endurance of how much empathy you have to have in order to bring new life to the situation. Tell us more about this. What's the blockage? We have King of Pentacles. Oh, and there's that Two of Chalices again. Yeah, so, you know, as we saw the divine feminine energy that came out during the cleansing ceremony, we saw the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So again, there could be two. I'm not necessarily feeling a third party. It could just be the divine feminine energy that, you know, is coming out. It's solid. Like the contract was solid. So speaking was like very clear, and the physical actions were very clear. But it looks like the divine masculine is really what is not stable here. It looks like, you know, it's endured so much and tried to have empathy for the situation in order to bring new life. But the thing is, like, the feminine energy is just avoiding any sort of judgment about, you know, what the masculine has taken on, right? And the masculine is just things that are happening in the 3D world, in the physical world, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a man or anything like that. But yeah, the blockage, the problem here is that the masculine, you know, physically took so much on without, you know, I'm getting that, like, didn't physically follow through with things. Like, the masculine might be enduring things, you know, and having a bunch of empathy for things, but still the exchange of emotions here, the emotional exchange that is necessary, the energetic exchange was not solid on the masculine end. It just was not stable. Because you can't have just one leg holding up the whole world, okay? You know, like, that just doesn't work. No amount of empathy can bring new life to the situation. It does look like there is a want to have a new beginning, And I'm feeling the masculine energy be like, please be empathetic for me. Let's have a new beginning. You know, I've endured so much, you know, have pity on me. But that still doesn't change the fact that it's not stable and, you know, the exchange didn't go how it should be. You know, it's very much this Temperance card here and the Two of Chalices. Look how similar they are, right? They should be enjoying a nice night out, you know, drinking some vino or champagne and exchanging, you know, this is love. This is balancing love between two equals, but they're both in reverse, and someone was definitely getting the short end of the stick, and it feels now like you know, this person is afraid of being judged and they just kind of want to play victim is what I'm getting. What's the light energy here? What's the light energy? We have Barbuncle using Claw Slash. So again, we have a water type. So that's some Cancerian energy or like Scorpionic energy, where, you know, Claw Slash I'm getting as like slashing and claw, like definitely using emotions as an attack. And again, it's kind of that victim sort of thing, like, oh, have empathy for me. Look at everything that I've taken on. Look at everything that I've done. It's like, yeah, well, if you do all that, you can't, that masculine energy can't be stable unless some is given to the left leg as well, you know? So it does feel like definitely trying to use emotions as a weapon here. It says, Barbuncle's legs and hands have minds of their own, and they will move independently, but they usually follow the head's orders. Yeah, it talks about having, you know, the legs have minds of their own and the hands. So here we have, you know, the left hand doesn't know what the right is doing. The right leg doesn't know what the left is doing. And it's just really an incompatible, you know, collective body that this relationship is, right? With the masculine and the feminine, they're just not harmonious. And that's why we have this Two of Chalices coming up twice, you know? Like, the masculine can't be solid if it's enduring everything, right? Or if it's trying to play victim and be like, oh, have empathy for me. Let's have a new beginning, okay? It does talk about, you know, usually following the head's orders. So it does look like, you know, there might be some whatever. I'm kind of getting that they're like, oh, you know, this is divine. You know, you have to listen to blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sometimes you can use rationality, right? Using the mind, but it really does feel like, you know, using emotions as a weapon that kind of negates what the rational mind is thinking and doing, okay? I will also say, as you can see, it's like the hand with eyes on it, which is kind of like, you know, the eye of jealousy. So it does look like this person might be jealous of something that you have. Just gonna say. All right, what's the shadow here? We have Gallade using Pandemonium Blade. Yeah, it's like they cause some sort of chaos and fighting energy here. And then it's like they cause emotional chaos and be like, look at how much I've endured. Have empathy for me. And, you know, but it's still, right, that's the blockage. I feel that you have empathy for them, and you might even want this new beginning as well, because maybe you do see they've taken on a lot, but the blockage is still, it's not solid and you're not getting what you want, okay? There could be some sort of jealousy again, but anyway, Pandemonium Blade, this is a fighting type, so this is telling me, you know, in the shadow there is a lot of fighting energy, a lot of chaos, like this pandemonium of chaotic energy is just, right? And that's what happens when you don't know who's doing what. I just heard a buzz. Okay. So yeah, there could be some sort of bug involved here as well. It says, when trying to protect someone, it extends its elbows as if they were swords and fights savagely. Yeah, so, you know, it's like someone wants to protect somebody, so what do? They cause a bunch of chaos, you know, and use their elbows as swords, and swords is air, right? Communication. So it's like, again, with this claw slash of like, the way that they try to protect themselves is by attacking. Attack, attack, oh, have empathy on me. Well, that's not a good place to be. That's definitely a blockage. let's see what Archangel wants to take us into the extended here, Virgo. Like I said, in the extended, we're going to take a look at how do we best analyze the situation, and then how do we apply that analysis in order to help your situation, and then some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. But let's see. Who wants to take us into the extended? And I could tell like that it wanted to come out upside down because it has to do with this King of Pentacles here. Courage in reverse. So the masculine doesn't feel like it has the courage right now. This is Archangel Ariel. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So it seems like the masculine, you know, isn't feeling courageous, but you are being asked to bring all of your courage up and summon Archangel Ariel and be courageous and stand up for what you truly believe here. Okay, it doesn't matter what this person's gone through or anything. What do you believe in? Okay, so we are going to head into the extended. If you would like to follow me there, the link is in the description box below. If we part ways here, good luck with the situation. I am sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.